Okay, first of all, this meeting is being recorded. Okay, so again, Timothy the Rupp, I know it's a school day. Some people, you may have to get off at some point. Understand that. So again, we'll put that online. I'll just play it back where you can see it. So again, as I was put that public service announcement out there, and if you have a question, I mean, in the session when I send it out, it's available to, if you want your coaches, bookkeepers, anybody, other administrators, assistant AD, or anything else to be a part of it, they're welcome to do that. You can send the link out. But as I was saying, I'm using exclusively Dragonfly. And it doesn't cost you anything for this, as did the Arbiter. What I want you to be able to do is see your games, see your schedule, and see the officials. You do those two things. I've made it seamless for the officials. Officials' primary concern is to accept their games and get paid. They know now there is a pay feature on there as well as for the Arbiter. But again, that's something we're going to go in later discussion. I'm going to show you, I have John Owens, who's an official, also works at one of my admin guys, both the football and the basketball. Just kind of go through the process. It's already, every school has been linked. Some of you that have been linked because the other schools are using Dragonfly. Now, Larry Richardson gets a gold star today because I put an example out there today. And for this class right here today for 11-1, which is November the 1st, game if you can see. And when I put the game out there last night, 4 days this morning, and I signed it and everything else to use for the class, I got an email this morning, and Larry instructed me that Dragonfly was incorrect. Hey, he had a game for the day. He didn't want the officials, I guess, to show up. But that's the way it should work. I mean, that's the way, But again, there are several teams. In football, we only could have one contest a week. In North Carolina, when the home team plays, when the JV plays home, the varsity plays away, vice versa. It was only concerned, the athletic director was only concerned about really one game a week. Now, in basketball, it's going to be a whole different animal that we're dealing with. And it's hard enough to keep up with the schedules when you got so many different teams playing on so many different days. It's going to be a challenge, and it's going to be up to the people on this call, me and you, to make sure we don't have a situation where we have teams, no officials, no team. So we definitely going to have to work together to make sure that does not happen. Some of you have already turned your schedules in. At today's session, by tomorroor morning, hopefully when you come to work, the schedule, if you've already turned it in, we populate it. You will be able to see it. I have your schools have already been linked to my Dragonfly account. You'll be able to go in there after today. We'll send you some links to follow up. Dragonfly is user-friendly for the assignment, for the schools and for the officials. In saying that now, one thing for the public schools, the ADs are responsible for inputting the schedules. I inputted those schedules for the private, for the middle schools. I did those, and I will do yours. All right, but the schedules normally are due by the 30th of September every year. That being said, this group here, that's a moving target. I get schedules changes all the time. And one thing about the schedules changes, if you put them in today, we will show you how to cancel a game. One thing in Dragonfly, anyone associated with that game, being the assigner or the administrator, anybody you can put the coaches in there, you can put the ADs in there, principal, and it will keep your person to cancel the game. When I say by canceling the game, because as soon as you cancel the game, everyone gets that. You cancel the game, you can cancel the game up to the time it's getting ready to be played. But we know once the officials are en route, hopefully you do it 2 or 3 hours before the game, because again, once they're en route, the officials are entitled to a half game fee. They show up to the game cancel, you get a regular game fee. So again, I will show you that feature about you can cancel the game. So something before texting me or trying to call and make sure, hey, this game is canceled. I want you to use that feature if you know it's going to be canceled. But you can't make it in. For public schools, we have what we call a lockout period. That lockout period basically states that after 3 days prior to the game, you can no longer make changes to the game. For those of you who want to venture into that, but once I will show you that. The other part is once I assign someone to the game, you can't make any changes. But what I want you to do is primarily this year, as we go through this process, verify your schedule, the start time, everything on associated with that schedule. And you'll be able to look at it. That's what you want to do. Some of y'all are playing next week, some are playing this weekend. So again, this is very important. So we're gonna have a quick roll call here, and we're gonna go on unless anybody has any questions. Like again, you have to leave, just and we'll see when you checked out. I mean, if you have any questions, we got the chat room. You can send something to the chat. Hopefully, if it pertains to everybody, we will get that to everybody, or we will just answer you privately. James, did you have something? I know you.
No, sir. Just
okay. I saw you unmuted.
No.
All right. We have.
Earl, I have a question.
Oh, yes, go ahead, Earl.
Is there a fee to us as a school to use the app or the website or whatever?
None whatsoever. No.
Okay.
No. I'm saying that's why I say bring it to. It's a lot of stuff there because again, guys, not to call names of some assigners do not want to use this for. I mean, again, it came to us kind of short notice. I mean, we've been working on it. We use for the officials. We've been using Dragonfly for registration past 2 years. This is the 3rd year we used it. Knew it was going to stay. Eventually, it was coming, but because of certain things happening in the timing, when they put this platform for kind of make it mandatory for us to say we're going to use it, it could have been yielded and I guess better. But hey, it's nothing. It's working. I mean, it's got some little things that can be improved, and it's going. In fact, I have a basketball meeting today on Zoom with the Dragonfly representative and all other 8. It's a total of 9 regional supervisors in the state of North Carolina. We're all meeting with Dragonfly today, do some things. Like I say, it's little things during the process. Within the season, if you want done, then you're going to see some change. Right now, it's working adequately, and it's going to serve your needs. But I got Favorite Christians here. I got Liberty, Freedom, Columbus Christian, Village Christian, the O'Neill School, Spirit of Life, Cornerstone, Alpha Academy, Berean Baptist, and Trinity, and Mr. Larry Rich and Sandhills. Did I miss anybody?
Chip Bishop told me to sign in the list.
Oh, Mr. Pittman. I can see. Okay,
yeah, that's okay.
Chip is special. He said
Chip
no,
is special. You hit that
right now.
man.
Today,
more ways than one.
I know. There you go. Now, one thing about the NCISA, Chip is the representative. He's in charge of basketball, both men's and women, for the state. And today, Mr. Pittman, he kind of hit the jackpot because John, we using his account, and he set John on and set him up. The Chip then told us what his limitations are on this technology. And if you have, and after today, guys, one-on-one, I mean, no one has more teams on this call than Mr. James Franklin. I will probably go down there and look, he's constantly in contact with me on email, through the phone, through text messages, because we want to get it right. Guys, you can't over communicate with me.
Yeah.
I mean, so when you do that, that means what? We're making sure things get right. So again, if you have some problems, have some questions today, There's no such thing as a stupid question. I'm not saying not telling my officials, some stupid people, but it's not, hey, okay? So again, I'd rather you ask the question if you want me to come down there. This is Columbus Christian down there with Van Ulrich, or it's like say James Franklin, Tommy Rudolph. I come over there. You guys, we want to get this right. All right, it's going to tell you how it works. Again, when you get down before we get started, the invoices. Some people haven't been invoiced, haven't paid for last season. You'll get that probably in the next 2 weeks. I didn't already ended the program. I got to get some things. You'll get an invoice for this year. My plan is to pay the officials the day of the game. The day of the game. Normally, so you just play your games, right? Some people are arrears, some people, that's for the officials. You've been following the news. There's a lot of things about going on with the shortage of officials. For everybody on this call, since I've been a supervisor, I've granted you every change and every thing that you've wanted. I've never had to say no. That's not because of me, it's because of my officials. So again, moving forward, I know if you don't, I mean, some people felt like, hey, well, if you don't go to Dragonfly, you don't do this. As independent contractors, that's what those officials are. That's what you are. Many of you came to me for your signing of services for various reasons. But again, I hope you enjoy the products you get. I treat those private schools just like any other school. You want consistency. I don't have people that officiate private schools, people officiate all together. You're gonna get the same level. Whether you think it's bad, you're gonna get bad, but it's gonna be consistent. So the officials that officiate Terry Sanford, Pinecrest, then the first, Richmond, everybody, you're gonna officiate your games. Because I mean, and I like them to move the officials around. So any questions before we get started? But again, everybody here, you're gonna have to do something today to link this. And it's very simple. It takes 2 or 3 minutes, really. But Trinity, because they did football, they've already set up Mr. Larry Richardson. Like I say, my game, he was able to see his, I know he's able to see his game because he called me. And not only did Mr. Richardson call, 2 of those officials that's on those games, I put myself and John Owens. One of the officials you'll see on the game already called me and asked me, Merrill, that's a real game today? All our games are real. This is an example. So I'm gonna delete that. Now, Larry, you're gonna see when I delete the game or when I cancel the game, you're gonna get a notification. But what we don't do now, unfortunately, is the officials don't get the reminder. But again, with that being said, John, how about let's get started with the simplest things there.
All right, guys, if you have questions as we're going through this, let me know. The first thing about it is this is as close as I can get to showing you exactly what yours is going to look like. Mine will look a little bit different in certain spots because I am an official. And so, but for the purpose of this presentation, I am acting as the AD of Fayetteville Academy. So first you'll create your account, and when you log in to Dragonfly, it'll bring you to a today window. All right. Your first thing you're going to want to do is go to your information. So you'll click on my information. It'll bring you this picture up. Yours is going to look a little different than mine because this is an official's viewpoint. I can't just do the AD viewpoint on this part. But the thing you need is right here at the top. It says connect to a school or an association. And so you're going to put your role as a staff member. And then you'll put your role, put your highest role as far as if you are the AD and you coach basketball, put the athletic director. Don't put coach. When you get into later, you'll be able to identify yourself as the AD and the coach. But for this purpose, identify yourself as the athletic director. That way you could go through.
John.
So, yes, sir.
All right. Now, at any point, you have a question, and this is key right here. When you identify, when you get in there, you're going to be the person. You can add your principal, your coaches, or any other people in there. You will be able to do that. So again, the first thing is, like as John pointed out, you go to the Connect the School Association title in. Okay, I mean, but if you have any questions before he moves to another thing, just make sure you ask those questions. Go ahead.
You have the athlete, so click on the athletic director. All right, so you're going to add athletic director down here at the bottom. You'll find your state. And of course, I can't find North Carolina quickly. All of your schools are in Dragonfly. So you should be able to just type in your name. I'm just going to go Liberty Christian Academy. Make sure, again, there are multiple Liberty Christian Academies. So make sure you select the one that's in your city. Liberty Christian Academy. Join Liberty Christian Academy. All right. Then I'll hit save. All right. Here's the thing. It's going to take you a little while because they're going to verify, or they're going to have a dead period. This is your first verification. So basically the dead period says, I can't go into Liberty Christian until there's been 2-day window. So that someone can't claim they're an AD and then just go in there and make changes and then do it. Once the first staff member at a school is into the system, for example, when Chip Bishop adds Fayetteville Academy, I will be able to approve. It will ask me to approve him and to say that he is an athletic director. Right now, if you're the first one in, you have to wait to a day or two, and then it will let you in. Beyond that, you'll be able to approve your coaches and so on.
John, today, when I have a meeting with the Dragonfly representatives, that Zoom call is at 3 o'clock today. I will ask, for this purpose, for you all, just go in there. So if you can go in there today, do that, or I can see, can I get that done today? So if the first thing you do when you get off the call between now, hopefully our call is at 3. So if you can do it before you leave work today, about 4 o'clock, we're going to be on a call at least for an hour. You go do the administrative for us, connect to the school, except as the AD. I get him to override that waiting period and put the U in there.
And so this is what's going to show up, because right now I am waiting for approval to get that taken off or to get that put on. All right. Any questions about the first initial part? All right, I'm gonna continue to move on. Stop me if you have a question. From there, everything is on your sideline on the side panel here. All right, you're gonna have your organization and people. This is the next step. Once you do this, is to set up your school. All right, so you're gonna go to organizational and people, which is over here on the side, and then you're gonna click set up school. All right, then you will put the information you would like to have in here as far as what school type. This is where I've already set up Fayetteville Academy for them. The time zone you're in, your mailing address, physical address, phone number, and this is for your school. Your own profile, you will have to put a number for if you want to put a cell phone number or something like that. This is for your school. Then under facilities, all right, you can add your facility. For example, I'll use Trinity. Trinity Christian plays at Recreation Center, the Fuller Recreation Center, if I remember right. You would add the facility. You could put Fuller Recreation Center. Put the address for the recreation center. And then you could put the contact for that recreation center. You don't have to, but you can. Down here, you don't have to fill all this out. The big thing you have to fill out is the name of it and the address. That way, whenever games are going on, the officials know what area to go to. This is for the O'Neill School that has 2 gyms. This that I know off the top of my head, O'Neill, you put both names of your gyms and you can put the different addresses there that shows them. For the sake of this one, for Fayetteville Academy, they have I already put the main gym in. They have a new gym. I'm gonna put the address in. If I can do this quickly with everybody watching me. $28303 for y'all Fayetteville people.
Yes,
It's gonna pull it up on the map, make sure it's correct. And then I put everything that I need to have in there. I can put, if it's associated with basketball, you have the option. You can fill that out all you'd like to. And then you hit save facility. And now whenever the arrow goes to put in your games, if you say it's in the new gym, then he can click the button that says new gym. If it's in the main gym, he can click the main gym. That way your officials know the differences. If you have 2 gyms, that helps. If you do multiple sports, it doesn't have to be a gym. For example, Village Christian Academy could put soccer field up here and have it on there. So you could go ahead and put the facilities that your school uses. For Fayetteville Academy, it's just as simple as women's lacrosse field. I don't even think it's called women's. I think he named it just lacrosse field.
Yeah.
And then you just put the address in there. Save and verify. It's going to pop up the Google map. Make sure the arrow's in the right spot. I'm going to put in the notes behind the school. Or behind the gym, excuse me. Let me make sure I get the note right. Again, you don't have to put that. That's just something you can put down. Now his lacrosse field's up. All right. And I'm going to save his soccer field for when I'm actually with Chip. So that's how you set up your school. Any questions on how you set up your school?
Those that have just one gym, it's going to be, you don't need to do those particular things, but you can if when you're in there setting it up, you want to put baseball field, Harold, like softball field. If you want to do different things because you do the different sports, again, I mean, I don't know how many of you that do the wrestling, anything like that, but that's there. Again, when you get down to today, just setting up and get the minimum to get this thing started. But that's there.
All right. The next part is the public directory. You'll set this up. This is where you will go if you have, for example, at Fayetteville Academy, if Chip Bishop would like to put the soccer coach in as an assistant AD, or he would like to put the soccer coach in as just a soccer coach. When you come down here, I'm going to make myself the baseball coach for 8th grade at Fayetteville Academy. And then it's going to show up for me as I'm staff and I'm the head baseball coach. And that way you can let your coaches see it. The coaches will have access in order to see, they'll be able to see their own officials who they will have if you give them that access of coaches.
And that is your call. You determine that. I would go. This is for those of you John is doing the administrative things here. When I did the contacts, I would add you and add anybody you wanted. This is where you get to do it. I don't, as a designer, I don't do it anymore. I want to, you can add anybody on your staff you want to see this. Okay, so this is what you will do, but you go down there, John, scroll down some on the teams. Keep going. They have them all in basketball, football, they got all the different things. In the eighth grade is the middle school. I mean, 7th grade, 8th grade, cross country, they have all these teams. Now you can do that, and you can set up as many people to see this and coaches as you want, but they'll show up later. But again, this is what you do as the administrator.
And you can, and they can come and go as you please. If you set up an assistant AD and they are no longer the assistant AD, they go to another school, you click the X and they disappear. Just like I did with the head baseball coach. I put my name in there. And then I'm not the head baseball coach there, so I click the X. The biggest thing on this part is they have got to create a Dragonfly account before you can do this. Any questions on that part? That's the basic of the organization. Also down here, the final thing I will say is you can add a position and this is yours. So if you want to put the bookkeeper in there for your school, you add the bookkeeper. They have that. Later on, when you start looking at Dragonfly pay, you'll be able to set that the bookkeeper is the only one able to pay, or you and the bookkeeper can pay. Those are you have the permission to tell them what their rights are.
And that's bookkeeper, treasurer, admin assistant, assistant coach, whatever you want to do in there, that you can create someone when you're not there that's going to do that, check that, whatever the case may be. And that's the old context of just add some of your coach, James Frank, you had your coaches, you can add them if they're not there. And you got the head coach, but also you have assistant coach. There's no in that spot, but you can use that. And that's for any of the sports if you're doing it as you're setting it up. As we go through the season, for the other sports that you have, you can do that at any time.
And what I'm going to show you is, for an example, I'm going to the officials view where you can see what that looks like. The officials view, when you put in here when they click on the game, it's going to show all the people who are associated with this game. And I chose a playoff game, which is going to mean everybody and their brother. But like the AD for Hopton High School, where I worked last night, Jason Fussell, I know. The AD for Oxford Prep is right there. You don't have to put a picture in, but I will tell you as an official, it's easier if I've never been to your school. If I can see a picture, I know who to go to whenever I'm there. Just like I'm gonna scroll down, and of course I got one that didn't do it. Let me go to a school that I know has done it. Coach Jones, see, he has a picture. The AD has a picture there. I'm able to identify them and go, when I get to the school, I can go directly to them. So as an official, I would encourage you to put a picture in so that we can know who we're dealing with, and put your coaches in, because as you can see, the officials will see who the head coaches are and who's the AD and who's the assistant coaches. So that's what that part looks like. Now, when we go to the next part, it is game schedule. And again, I'm acting as the role of an AD at Fayetteville Academy in this. So when you click on game schedule on the side, then it will pull up your games. You have different views up here, so you can schedule, assign, pay. All this is available. For right now, if you click on assign, or excuse me, you will not have the assign feature. I apologize. Sorry. You'll have schedule and pay. When you click on your game, for example, Mr. Daniels has put in a game for today. You'll click on that game. It'll come up with these types up here: game details, officials, workers, documents, and key people.
Stop right there, John. Right now, in that, you see beside the game, that shaded light green is linked. What that link means is the same officials work game one will work game two. That's more or less for me and for you to know those games are linked. You see right there, here, that's where that is. It's got linked. So most of the times, or when I sign games, you would have one line entry. That was in, it would be BAR B/G, varsity boys / girls. This and the Dragonfly, some of those previously, didn't give us, it gives, you're gonna have two games. But when the officials go there, you got an 8th grade girls and boys. You got 2 middle school games. It's gonna be 2 different games. It's gonna be a girls game, then a boys game. Before I just had one entry. So you'll see that. For that link, you don't have to worry about anything with the game link. Those 4 things on that, the game details, the officials and workers, those 4 things on that. But that's, so when they accept the game, even though it's when I link them, that means someone can't say, I'll accept, I decline, I don't want to work the girls game, I don't want the boys game. They won't, I'll take that official off that assignment. They're gonna do both those games. It's a 2-game set. That's what that link means. So again, you don't have to worry about that. And the pay, as we go in there, you have 2 varsity games with COVID and all those things. Some of you may have just one JV team, girls or boys, and then 2 varsity. All that fees are, if it's 2 games, they're gonna divide it in half. So for a varsity game set that pays 105, they're gonna have both games 52.50, 52.50. Now, if you didn't play, so my girls can't play tonight, or my boys, whichever one, they can't play and just play one game. The single game fee will be $69.50. So just letting you know, anytime you have 2 games, you're gonna, both those amounts going to be equal. Because JV is 1 game, is going to have a set fee. Also, it has a set fee, but when the 2 games combine, they divide it in half. So that way, we get sometimes confused with that. But those, when the games are linked, that means the same 2 officials, the same 3 officials, whatever the case may be, whatever level the game is, that's what they're going to work.
So when you click on officials and workers, this is where you will see who your referees are. And so officials and workers, the game fee policy, you don't need to touch. Mr. Daniels is going to take care of everything for that for you. Your referees and your referee, their names will appear right here. Now, some of you want to have verification for your bookkeepers and people signing. You go to create documents and you can click payment voucher. And it will create your payment voucher where the referee can sign saying that they were at the game and verify it, has their information on it. Do you want me to show them manage payments or no?
No, but just go to key people.
Key people, this is where, again, this is basically just a quick snapshot of all those people who are attached to the game. As you can see right now, I'm acting as the AD. So down here under key people for Fayetteville Academy, you have the athletic director gives my name, and then it gives my email address. If you click on it under details, it will tell you my email address, my phone number, that you can do that. So you'll have the quick information.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. I don't
Go
mean
ahead.
to, I don't mean to interrupt. When will we have access to all of this? Because my end is still saying that that I'm waiting for approval, and I'm kind of a hands-on learner, like a visual learner.
What school are you
look.
with?
John, Alpha Academy. We're gonna approve you right now.
Okay.
It's good that you're doing something now. That's good. You multitask. Thanks, Brianna. I'm gonna put up my
Give
other
me
thing.
2
We're gonna-
seconds.
Okay, because I'm kind of, I see you
No,
going.
Brad, you don't need excuse. You don't need to tell us why.
I appreciate it.
I know you playing next week. I got you. John, you go ahead. Now this is where, if you look to the right, John, Mr. Larry Richardson, this is where he gets the gold star for the day. You see that down there under AD is key people. He's already attached. He's assigned. He's done his things he need to do, and he's on Dragonfly. He's the athletic director right there. He has already. So that's why when he sent me, when I put this game out there today for Fayetteville Academy, I selected Sand Hills for that reason, because Mr. Larry Richardson, and when he called, he did it the same afternoon, and he did that, and he was able to do, I mean, without notice. Like I say, I was very pleased that when I got an email from him, even though he said this Dragonfly was incorrect, because that means he's checking. Now, if you have individuals that unlock the gym, that ticket detail, whatever the case may be, they can be on that. If something happens to that game, John Owens as AD, Chip Bishop, go ahead and cancel that game for any reason. All those key people associated that will receive an email. So user friendly in that manner. And I'm getting all my officials to put photos out there. I mean, recent photos. Right now, you know, of the headshot of on it. So when they come in, you know who's coming in. There's a game out there that you don't see. If you don't see the game on the schedule, obviously the official's not going to show up. So again, all the key people are there. You'll get to see that. You can talk to the other ADs. You all have each other's information. Most of you all know each other. I want people to get on the call today because a lot of you all play each other for us in conference, out of conference. I'm going to have to add those schools, your schedule, who's not on Dragonfly, because I want them to be able to appear on the schedule. So I'll ask you sometime when I don't put in there like TBA. If you know the opponent, I try to get them in there. We get that up to the Dragonfly folks, and they can approve that. Well, you can have your schedule there. But as pertains to that, this thing that's under key people, anything associated with that game, everybody's going to be over there. You can pick and choose who you want to make it. If you want to send an email, right there, that's an email. If for me as a signer, you just hit that, tell you what, you can pick out whoever you want to send an email to, or all the key people. Sometimes that's what I'll do. I'll send you emails from, and it tells you everything about the game. It's senior night. If it's something like that, I will let the officials know that. So again, that's how quick that can be, is just going in and click on that little envelope, and you can make change. I mean, I say, at least you can tell people any kind of particular things about that game.
And when also, as he said too, whenever you go in to game details, if it's senior night, under location notes, you can put senior night, and the officials will know, hey, it's senior night, or it's a pink out game, or it's military appreciation, things like that. If you want the officials to know, hey, I have a special thing going on, it's homecoming for some of y'all, alumni night. If you need you want the officials to know, you can just put that in your location notes also.
Has the link been sent to all the schools already?
Yes.
All schools have been linked. You have to go in. Link means link to SSOA basketball, to Mr. Daniels.
Right, but I mean, have we been sent an invitation to join Dragonfly? Because I haven't seen anything.
No. See, that's the difference in the Auburn and Dragonfly. not, you want invitation, you go sign up. I've already, like I say, I've already got everybody on this call. Every school is in there. So,
We've already
we'll-
created your school on the platform.
right,
Now you just have to go join you have to go enroll in your school, for lack of better terms.
Okay, thank you.
You're quite welcome. All right. So final thing that I have, unless Mr. Daniels tells me to do more, is if you have a game that is canceled, click the X button. That's correct, right? It's
right,
the
right.
X out the trash can.
But here's like that. That's right. But a cancel game, you can write this down. Once you put that cursor down over there, put it down below the next one down. It's underneath that little hand thing, it says cancel. You put it on. Once somebody on there, if you try to delete that game, John, click to delete that game. It's not going to allow them. You cannot delete games that have assigned officials. So again, and just now to cancel a game, John, did you put Fayetteville?
Yeah, I'm canceling the varsity game.
Okay.
You want me to go ahead and cancel it?
Yes. And see what it did? Showed up in red. Now, I was associated with that game. That was my phone. All right. That's how you cancel a game. Anyone, don't delete a game, but you can cancel a game. You know that game's not going to be played. You can do that. Now, you can go back, John. I mean, if you want to say, no, we weren't going to play, now the school's going to come. He hits that. And they say, are you sure you want to what? Reschedule the game between Fayetteville Academy and Fayetteville Christian. He does that, then he'll go back and do some other things. But all I think what you're concerned with, you can cancel a game. It's the X, not the delete. All right, not the trash can. That's all it is. But it's up to, because sometimes if the school call you that morning, for some reason, we can't make it. If you're looking at, I understand and respect things that you'll do as athletic directors. I know that's, you got many other duties and responsibilities. Sometimes when you get ready to do that, say, well, you know what, I'm going to call him. You call, can't get through, don't call back. Again, Carol Morrison is great about that. I don't think he's ever, to make sure, again, it's not the idea officials want to come there and receive a full game, to drive all the way to Fayetteville. Because a lot of these officials are not in town. They come from out of town, other places. So if you know at 10 o'clock in the morning, if you know at 1 o'clock, you can go in there very quickly, do that. You can follow with a phone call or a text message. You go in there, hit that X, and everybody's notified. Sometimes if I get it, I will call you a verified text, make sure those officials know. Again, so you can do that at any time. Again. But if John, you can click in on one of those other things, see where it says those games are linked under schedule, accepted. When the game's in green, this says status. The status of the game is scheduled. All your games will be scheduled, and then the officiating status, what you want to see is green. That means both officials, all three officials, whatever level we're doing, that means they've accepted that assignment. Now, if it's 2 out of 3, it won't be green. I mean, if it's going to be in 3 different colors, like it did north, it's going to be like a caution light. I mean, one or some, or not all. And red means, go back to the schedule, Johnny. When it's red, that you see that means it's unassigned. I mean, I haven't even put those officials. I try to go 2 weeks out. Obviously now we're not 2 weeks. So as soon as we finish and get this administrative stuff done, me for my officials, all the officials has to do that. I want the pictures up and everything else by the end of this week. By the 4th, all our administrative stuff should be done. Officials, we should be ready to go. Because we got some games as of this Friday. But some of the individuals that have returned from last year worked over the summer, and I know they're ready to officiate. We had a clinic on Sunday, and we also have a meeting tonight with all my officials. I have a Zoom call with them 7 p.m. tonight. So I'll ask if you have a scrimmage, if you have something that you did, I mean, obviously you didn't put any, games in. But Alpha Academy, Freedom, Fairfield Christian, have sent the schedules in. As soon as you get the schedules, at least if you don't have a complete schedule, get me your November schedule in. And I like that today, tomorrow, at the latest. I say that you get that in, I'm gonna put it in where you can see it. Set up teams. No, John, you see where Coach, you don't need to set up any teams. All you have to do is just coach. And I know O'Neill has a very good system as far as the head coaches and the AD in tune with all the schedules. I mean, I can't get in contact with Franklin, the varsity women's coach, and the varsity men's coach. They contact. Okay, again, changing times. A lot of times it's 30 minutes here. School's going to be late. I would rather you tell me than have the officials get there and you got to wait. So we know COVID's still here. Things still happen. Games get canceled, get adjusted. And sometimes we go, instead of you change the home and away, where you was going to go play home this day and your away day, you flip-flop. Those things, just again, very proud of the relationship I have with all the schools here and that I provide officials for. I know everybody here, they've established a great relationship, and that's what it's about. Again, anybody have any questions about this? Because I would like to get this done. Now, those of you who go in and do this, before my call ends, the day with the Dragonfly representing my fellow regional supervisors, we're going to get all the games in. I mean, the next 24 hours, you're on time. What you've given me will be in the schedule. The only thing I'll be waiting on is Coach Ludo asked from O'Neill about setting a team. You may have some schools who have not been added to Dragonfly, maybe PDA, but everything else, you should hopefully be able to go in there and check your schedule. Not tomorrow, at least by Thursday, because hopefully I'll get everybody officiating link approved as far as get you approved or you as an administrator. If you have any questions that pertains to setting this up this afternoon, again, like I said, I have a Zoom call at 3, probably last to 4:30. Then I have with all the officials tonight at 7. And then if you send me an email or text, then it's just setting it up. Questions, we'll get that. Yes, we'll see that. Go ahead.
I got a couple more things real quick. If you go on, if you would like this information on your phone, where you can pull it up and then if you go and download the coaches app, if you type in
Yes.
Dragonfly and then click coaches, and I'm going to show you here in a second on my phone, that you can see actually, and this might be helpful for your coaches, is let me stop sharing and let me show you my screen. Is if you look, this is the Dragonfly coaches app. I know I can't give you a great one, but it's on my phone. If I click on it, it's going to give me the information for the game that I have on there. Okay. So it will show you as AD all the games that are on your schedule. You can sort that by week, month, or season. You can see the staff that is on the game, the roster. All right. And then you can click on them and it will give you the details of the game. So that might be something that you would like and your coaches would like to have on there. And that's availability for you. The other thing is if you have questions about something, dragonflymax.com, if you click resources, and let me share my screen back. Up at the top, when you go to dragonflymax.com, you'll see resources. and you can click on school staff, tell them what your role is. And then it has different courses that you can go through and do online. So say you want to know how to set up your school and team. If you set up your school, it'll give you the option to watch a Dragonfly video, or you can just get, if you're like me and you're like, I don't want to sit there and watch a video, I'd rather just look at the instructions real quick. It gives you a breakdown. If you click on print instruction with screenshots, that will tell you how to do everything inside that section. So you can watch the video, or you can do the instructions. Again, some of this stuff, the app is designed to do a lot more. And as far as I understand, if you want to use it for some of that stuff, it's up to you. It doesn't cost you anything. And so, but if you have questions, a lot of these times, you can look in here and it will tell you. Like if you add, eventually when we start, if you want your coaches, hey, how do your coaches deal with stuff, game schedule and team calendar? They can click on here and it will tell you how to input a schedule, tournament, and how to do a schedule that way for your coaches to see how who the refs are. If your bookkeeper or your financial person wants to know how to do stuff and get accounts and things like that, it has information and videos where it walks them through individually. It's a good resource that even I use sometimes to go, I don't necessarily remember how to do that. So I just click it and go to Dragonfly Academy and it walks me through it. So that's a source for you also.
Now I'm saying that about setting up the teams, what I did when we did this was we put all, sometimes when they set up teams, you don't have a JV girls team, you don't have a JV boys. Instead of setting up, I put all teams. I say for Coach Lulu for there at O'Neill. So all the teams we got, it'll tell you how when you're going to set up the different ones. Because initially when I got started trying to get ahead, that's what I did. I'm going to add, because some people, you have several. Example, let's say the O'Neill School, they have a 4 middle school team, two middle school boys teams and 2 middle school girls. So it's A or B that we just set up. But again, you won't see this as you won't. Some things I'll set up where, you know, what team is playing on your schedule. I'll have a hard copy. Those have sent, you'll send me a hard copy. I will put that in. But eventually, you will have the access where you can do it. I mean, but again, checks and balances. Once I like to do is that get the schedules in. The next couple of days, all the schedules will be in. You'll be able to see it. If you can't, for some reason, don't have it, you can't get that access approved until the day is Tuesday, Thursday, I can send you a hard copy. What on Dragonfly? You just look at it, verify. Again, I want you to know, because if something changes, because when the season starts, once we got a baseline, we don't get it right from the beginning. Definitely, you know, that's saying never have time to do it right the first time. We always have time to do it over. Again, check all the different things on there, make sure that those are straight as we go forward. And then anything else changes as far as the times, because we have some early times. You're playing several games in a day. Some schools play 4 at times. Northwood people playing Trinity, they play 5 games. That's a lot. So I got officials in and out doing different things. Again, if something fails, it's called contributory. It's not playing the blame game, but I hold my officials accountable and they hold me accountable. Same thing that goes for the school. We're still under COVID. If you have anything pertaining to your school, parking and anything like that, I'm gonna tell my officials prior to the game, this is where you park, this is where the entrance, this you got a resource officer, or whatever the case may be, any kind of things associated with that game. Now I have things where you can see in the notes what I want, you know, anything special about that game. And like I say, we do have a blackout night where they do over to Friends. This you know, like I say, games, and if the team name changes, this place where you can enter the score, you can do some things. There's no requirement, but sometimes they do that to keep up with the win-loss record. Any questions for setting up the account and then verifying the schedule?
Hey,
There'd be times
Earl,
I-
the
go ahead.
one thing we didn't talk about is when you're on your game schedule, you can, this is basically set up as a sort. So right now we're showing every game. If you want to just see your JV games, you can just change the level to JV and it's going to load up only your JV games. If you want to see only your 8th grade, the middle school's up there for tournaments only. So 8th grade is middle school. If you want to see 8th grade, you just click 8th grade. If you just want to see your women's basketball schedule, if you want to check behind us, which I would encourage, then you can just say, I want to see only my men's basketball varsity level. And it will show you only your varsity games. So you just sort it. If you just want to quickly say, I want to see get a schedule for
this week.
I can hit this week. It's going to pull up this week only.
And when you separate those games, you want to, and again, that little link to tell you that symbol there, the link beside that game will tell you what the game follows. So if you pull up a women's game, you're just checking their schedule and you see that, you don't see that link, that means the men's game's not there. Again, you can't break Dragonfly. Or you can always shut it down and reboot it. But you don't have to. So when you go in there and start doing things, you get in an area where before you start clicking things, most of the time when you click something, they'll ask you, are you sure you want to do it? Go ahead and cancel. Because again, trying to delete games and do things, because you have access as an administrator. And you determine who has access to do certain things. Be careful when you can call and ask, hey, do I want the coach to do that? You give a coach the rights, coach is going to do what? They're going to exercise it. But Coach Rudolph, and I mean, you're both the AD and the coach you're doing involved. So again, if you have any questions, and I'll come by, John, I'll come over there before the season starts and help you or anybody else to do that. But we want to give a quick thing here because we are using it. It works within the Arbiter. The main thing you want to do is verify your schedule and officials for your game. That's what I want to do today. Just have you. So hopefully in the next few hours, you can text me or call me. Look, I will have, and I'm on that call today. I want to say, look, the Southeastern Association, all my private schools are set up and the schedules are in, and I'm gonna start signing again. A lot of you play in the next 2 weeks. Some playing within the next week. Any questions for the good of the group? Again, and those that do other sports, I mean, with anybody in the Southeast, that's where we should be going to. What I don't want you to do is have to be working out the Arbiter. The Arbiter account that you have is still good. I mean, so still good. I hope, when I say this, I hope it's not true. But if we come back to another signing platform, it's still there. It's nothing. There's no expiration on that Arbiter account. Some are still, for other sports, are doing that. So again, don't shut it down. If other signer, you got games with that. Like I say, still the same thing. Right now, Dragonfly is the signing platform for all basketball, all the winter sports we're using. Subject to your questions, that's all I have. Thanks for your attention. And
Hey, Errol, I got a question in the chat.
okay.
Someone asked about these logos that are on here. Let me share it and I'll show you how to do it really quickly.
Yeah, you can it says something about your school. Some people just have the thing in
So
there.
whenever you do it, you actually have the logo. So all you do is you go to your school and people. Up here, there'll be a gray box. I have a picture of the logo. You'll double click on it. You'll click on your logo, open, and there you go. Your logo set up. So now you see that the logo for Fayetteville Academy is there. So whenever you select the game, it shows up your school logo instead of this old classical Greek building.
It's generic. Yeah. Okay, so we just downgraded that gold star for Larry Richardson to a, as he just said. But it's in there, so you guys, and there's a lot of, and people ask that question, or they, they show up, wait, why is this person's, logo showing up and mine's not? That's... Any other questions? Thanks for your time. And look at, I will get the invoices from the 21-22 season and get invoices. I mean, based on your schedule, because again, if you have a game that's canceled, there's no fee associated. And you'll see that. But again,